a small piece of paper sitting on the chair. It's just a number and then a recipe for mushroom stroganoff. So you arrive at this a dome that is approximately double the size of Pit Stop. It is well lit. It is like a beacon by the time you arrive in the morning. Okay, so if you're heading for Bose, you are met by that familiar sort of underground subway, sort of down some stairs. And she sort of stands up and looks at you and goes, "Well, if you told me we were having guests." She knows exactly what to do in this scenario. And she knows that confronting you isn't necessarily the best idea, because you'll just sort of probably be quite evasive. So she turns immediately towards Dottie and goes, "So what's wrong with the guns?" An alarm goes off on the farm, and it's a fire alarm, weirdly.
I'm going to grab a sausage and go outside.
You thought killing a guy was going to be the worst thing that happened to you today, Bo.
As you kind of step out onto the porch, you can see that a large majority of the water systems down the far end towards the way you initially came in have been turned off. And you can see off in the distance. Make a perception check.
Everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyone who's looking anyway. You could easily like kneel on the sofa and look out the front window if you wanted instead of going onto the porch. 2. Nice.
I'll do it this way. You're British.
Yeah, don't swear at me. 3, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I got 1, so I'll just say, like, Dottie's still cleaning the carpet and isn't looking.
I believe Owen got the highest, yeah, so Bo's seen the most. You can see off in the distance this little drone flying over some of the crops near the far end, with this little spurt of flame coming out the front and trying to set fire to your crops.
Mac, that mech is working, right?
Mostly?
No.
Don't know if it can go anywhere.
You know that all, like the actual tools and the equipment itself work, but the moment you turned it on earlier, it basically overheats immediately.
Yeah. It won't go anywhere, but everything else will work.
That's fair. Then I'm gonna grab the shotgun and start hustling.
Yeah.
How far away is this?
Like a good 100 meters. This is a very like sizable cavern, and this is only like a small portion of the actual farm itself. You know that there are doors that go off to the left and the right that lead to other similar caverns.
Mac's gonna check for a pistol and then follow Bo.
Yeah. As soon as Bo steps out, he's fine, and you get about a good 10-20 meters down this path towards this drone situation. Mac, as soon as you step out into the clear path, you are going to... Where did I put them? There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Are you rolling 8d6 right now?
Mm-hmm.
He's disappeared.
His head disappeared! Oh, I'm gonna get shot.
You get hit squarely in the back by what feels like a single rapid like burst of some sort of force. You don't see it, so you feel it. Your armor holds up.
Oh, thank
Just holds up. You're moving, so you're not an easy target. Your armor just holds up, and whoever took the shot hit the parts of your spacesuit and like situation that is armored, like the padding underneath your clothing that is part of this like under spacesuit. Because no one wears this outer bulky stuff that NASA's using these days. It's all like form-fitting, structured, and specifically designed to...
Mass Effect armor.
Yeah, Mass Effect armor. There we go. It works for you. You feel it and you pretty much fall over forward for a second and stumble. And you turn around to see 2 guys who you recognize standing on the little like overhang near the kid's bedroom window, looking down at you, and you recognize them as friends of one Harrison Corbin. And they are holding burst assault rifles, and That's the first shot. As soon as you swing round, the other
Who's
guy
Harris?
is going to take another shot.
Does anyone know who that is?
Mac does.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, as you're kind of stumbling forwards, the shots, one of them wings your leg, and you take a minor injury.
Okay.
The rest of the burst hits kind of like the padding on your knees and like your hips and stuff. It's just right in like the back of your leg. That big meaty part at the back of your leg takes a shot. And that means it's time to roll initiative. I'm going to have you roll a d6 and then add your reflex if you have one, because I'm finding all three of you have the same reflex skill, which basically means you're rolling anyway.
Okay.
So we
That's
might as
fair.
well have everyone roll, and anyone who has reflex just gets to add an extra 1, so they have a chance of being higher up the list. Which these guys.
So let's just roll the 3d6 and then kind of see how many successes we get from that roll.
Just roll 1d6 and then let me know what the number of
1d6.
dice is. Just keep it easy.
I got 5.
3.
I got a 3 as well.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first out of the two of you? Like the normal
Probably
from the
me.
top up?
Yeah.
Would be preferable. Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
So we'll go with
Yeah.
Mac on that one. Yeah, that's fine. 3, and they got 5. Can you roll again, Emily, quickly for me? This is just you versus this one person.
1.
Yeah, that works. They're going before you. So it's 3, 3, and 5, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. And that's all of them. Lovely. So, starting at the bottom, what are you going to do, Bo?
I'm gonna continue heading to the drone and attempt to shoot it if I can.
Okay, cool. You can make it pretty much to within like a 15 meters sort of range, if you like, or you can get closer if you're using the shotgun.
I'll give it a shot from here. I assume it's not too
Yeah.
big of a spread.
No, that's fine. We'll get around to that in a second. Mac, what are you gonna do?
So they're on top of the little like.
Overhang, looking down at you. They're pretty
Overhang,
much
yeah.
kneeling and like taking shots at you.
How close is that mech to them?
It's at least a good 30 meters away.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, she'll probably just try and duck into the coffee and kind of.
Yeah, that works. You're gonna kind of keep yourself a moving target and kind of hope to obscure.
Yeah,
what you're doing a bit.
she's gonna move into the coffee, work her way towards the mech. She's not gonna shoot at them because she knows that the kids were up in the upstairs.
Yeah,
So she won't shoot yet.
that works. That's fine. That's fine.
She's not that confident in
He's
her
gonna
aim.
continue to try and shoot at you. In fact, you can see he's kind of tracking your movement and following the movement of the coffee like plants, kind of flapping. Dottie, what's your call? You're still. you're
I'm in the
inside.
house.
Yeah.
So I guess my first thing would be to ask Rachel if they have another gun in the house.
She's like holding the only other gun, which was the varmint rifle. I presume Bo probably left that one behind.
Yeah. I guess I'll tell her to take the gun and get the kids and get them out of the way,
Yeah.
and I will go up into one of the bedrooms with my pickaxe.
Okay, so the two. So she knows that the kids are upstairs as well. So she's gonna go with
So
you.
I'll either I follow her or she follows me up the stairs. She'll take the kids out the room, and I guess,
Run distraction.
yeah, like if I could see them out, like from within the bedroom, if I could see them outside, I'll just like, sorry about the window.
Okay, I like that. And the other guy is going to,
Could you just
hearing
open
you
it?
running up the stairs, is going to turn and like look at the open window and start climbing in through the open window towards one of the kids' bedrooms. The kid, at this point, as I'm going to do his rolls now, is running down the stairs towards you. And he's not going to
Okay.
take a shot at the kid. He's going to like see what's going on. He kind of stands at the top of the stairway and looks down and then immediately kind of turns back to the windows and then takes a few shots out the window at Mac. You are getting further away, so it means that the target the target he has to hit to do so is going to be a little higher.
Oh, good.
The way ranged weapons are working, we're using the table rather than the other way of doing the original way of doing melee, because I find being able to dodge a bullet seems unlikely in the best.
Okay.
I've got a table. I'll tell you what you're rolling against. Don't you worry.
Okay.
I've got it all written down in front of me. Yeah, he's going to take shots. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, you're a little bit further away this time. You're a moving target. 6. No, he can't hit you. You're moving away and being I wouldn't say it's full cover, but it's obscuring his vision enough that he can't get a solid beat on you. And he basically.
And Mac isn't exactly the most.
Yeah.
She's definitely limping, so she's using that to make everything.
You can hear as you come up the stairs now, Dottie, and it's your role. You can hear him basically say, "Go after them. I'll hold the house."
Will you now? She says in her head. Yeah.
He's got a 4, so he can still technically defend against you if he wants to, but it might not work in his favour.
Gonna try and
you getting in the melee might change things.
Wallop him with the pointy end.
Yeah, so he's in the room using the windowsill as a sort of rest almost.
Yeah.
And as he turns around, expecting to take a shot and turn back round and then finally meet you in the hallway, you are already on him. So, roll your combat roll.
Let me just check what I have to do.
Yours will be.
So it would ordinarily be 6, but I've still got the collarbone injury. So 3
plus your 2
4,
attributes,
5.
and then whatever proficiency you've got in it, which I think you do, don't you?
I've got one dot.
So that's where you get your 6 from, yeah?
Yeah.
You get an extra 2 for the actual weapon itself, which is a weapon bonus of 2d6. So 8 in total, minus 1 for your injury.
Cool. Wow. 2.
2.
So you didn't.
I rolled 5. I rolled 5 dice below, 3 and below. So
That's fine.
2.
Mercifully, he can't do damage against you because range weapons can only declare on one target, unless they're fully automatic and in a certain perspective.
Spray and pray.
Spray and pray, well, which even in this occasion wouldn't work because you'd have to be out next to Mac for it to be an attribute I'd allow.
Yeah.
He turns round and tries to block this pickaxe with his rifle, and I'm going to say the rifle will take the full brunt of whatever you're hitting. And for flavour, it's not broken, but it you can see you've hit it and dealt some damage to that, not him.
To the gun.
Serious dent.
Yeah, he kind of falls back into towards the windowsill and is trying to push you up off of him now, and he is winning that situation because he's just you kind of hit down and held it. He's just kind of shoving and trying to get back up on his feet. Rachel is going to do 2, and I'm gonna say because it's not a high caliber of weapon. Because it's only a little thing, and she's only going to get the 2 because I'll treat it as a handgun ballistic sort of in that kind of range because it's not
That was what I got as well for that same reason when we initially did it.
Yeah, that's good. I had a feeling that'd be the case. I know me. 1, 2, 3, and then the extra 2, and then it's an extra 2. She doesn't get to roll 8, but she is rolling a fair few dice. She steps into the doorway and
Blows the guy's head off.
He's kind of stationary at this point, so I'm going to say he's actually quite a close target and he's quite easy to hit. 1 minor injury. She kind of, between trying not to hit you and sort of figuring out situations, she basically fires a low caliber round and it blows off his left ear. And he kind of, ow! Fuck!
So is he deafened now?
Possibly, you don't know. The other guy is going to start jumping down and charging straight towards where Mac's heading, and isn't going to keep pace. By the time he'll get to you, He might be able to take a shot just before you get into the mech. But
Oh, I'm not getting into it.
oh, okay. Yeah, he can't really get a good beat on you, unfortunately. But I'm going to give him a roll anyway, because he's going to try and take shots in your general direction. Yeah, no. You feel as you're running through these leaves, these rounds like burst fire just flying through the plants and nearly hitting you. And he's not.
Coffee is exploding around me.
Bo, you are within range of the
Drone.
drone. I'm going to say this. I'll put this under heavy ballistic, but it very specifically only works in like the 5 to 10 meter range. Does that sound fair?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a shotgun. They haven't really accounted for it in the rules. Like shotguns and stuff aren't really accounted for. You kind of have to wing a lot of it. So the addendum to the shotgun is yes, it hits like a truck, like any heavy machine gun or minigun, but it's only going to be effective within that 5 to 10 range, and then anything after that I'll put in a
Then
depth.
can I close that gap and take that shot?
Yep. So you get your 3. You would normally have your 2 attributes as well, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
But you're -1 in that scenario because of your
Yes.
bruised back. So
But-
it's 5, is it then? 5 plus 6. So
5 plus 6.
yep, it's going to hit like a truck. So 11 dice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe.
After that 10 meters, it's less like a truck and more like a, family sedan.
5.
5 successes, yeah?
Yep.
Nice. It's a fairly stationary target. You're quite close. I'm going to say, yeah, the 3. Victory of 3. It is a drone. So you can either give it a serious injury, trip it, which I guess in this situation I'd say would basically just ground it, or any of the lower outcomes. So you could shoot the gun off of it, like the flamethrower itself. You could, I don't know, for flavour, it's up to you. It's not an instant destroy, but you could very easily disable it in some meaningful way.
If I could just disable the gun, I'm flying with it, flying around, but I just don't want it setting everything on fire.
Yeah, I'll allow that. I think disarm is meant to be meant for like melee weapons, but in this scenario, I'm just ruler calling this shit, bro. You
That's
you
fair.
aim for the nozzle and the like little situation that's kind of hung underneath this drone, and you just blast, and this whole bottom part of the drone basically ceased to function. Most of it's shot off, and you can see it's kind of still trying to do this like strafe run on these plants, and it's just not actually doing anything. There's like little bits of like oil and fire, kind of like a little bit of gas, like liquidized, kind of leaking out the bottom of this drone at this point. And
Excellent.
that brings us back round to, well, the drone's not going to be able to do anything anymore, so that's no issue. Yeah. So the guy who you Rachel slammed a shot into, and you've like kind of backed into this corner, is going to basically chuck the gun on the floor and reach for this knife on his like torso and pull it out and start trying to get ready to stab you. He's realizing in this distance that gun's not going to be any good to him.
Cool.
Sound fair?
Did you
No.
get any melee tips from Baxter?
Stabbing him. So he's only going to get 1, 2,
Surely he mumbled them while he was asleep on the side of gravel.
6. Right, he's going to roll his combat roll, and it's a little different this time. So 4, 6, 5, 4. So his combat roll is 4, and we'll come round to you in a moment, but that's good. Dottie, it is your turn, so roll your combat roll. Tell me what you're trying to do, if you're trying to do anything.
I guess if I see him with a knife, well, he's thrown the gun away.
Oh shit, sorry, I've done this completely wrong again. I've completely whiffed how this combat system's meant to work.
Yeah, we haven't
Isn't
declared
it?
yet.
Bo, what are you doing?
Well, since that's disabled, I think Rachel's my next order of priority, so I'm going to run back to the house.
Yeah.
You're not
I'm
going to
say-
put out the fire?
I'll let the farmhands do it.
Yeah. They do start
Okay.
gathering around and like
Yeah.
getting ready to do it. They just won't go anywhere near it because of the fire spewing drone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to
Fair.
say it'll probably take most of your turn to get back.
Yeah.
And you can't see... You can see, just as you turn around and come back that way, that one of them's chasing after someone through the underbrush, as it were. And you heard a shot come from one of the kids' bedrooms. So
Yeah,
that's the
I've got like
information you
that.
have at the moment. Mac, what are you going to do? You make it to wherever you're trying to get to.
I am basically just trying to run around to the backside of the mech. I'm assuming, since this is a harvesting mech, that there's some sort of large blade or kind of
churning thing.
the wheel, like the big wheel thing, you know?
Like a combine harvester.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, there is.
Basically, I'm just gonna turn it on and point the mech at the guy, and he doesn't have to know that it doesn't move.
Okay.
I'm just gonna scare the crap out of him.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm going to say, in this scenario, this is more of a deception than an actual thing. So you're not actually going to be able to hit him with it. But
Unless he chooses to run into it.
unless he runs
Yeah.
into it, but he won't. Deception it is then. So that will come
Okay.
back. We'll come back to that in a second. But that was just, so you're trying to do that. That's good. He's gonna kind of hold for a second and start getting ready to come round towards you. That will leave that there. He's basically kind of planning to come for you, come round and try and find you. Dottie, what are you gonna do?
So assuming the guy drops his gun and gets a knife out.
Mm-hmm. You can see he's pretty much
Because the pickaxe is like a two-handed axe kind of size, and it's got like the hook, the kind of slightly hooked blade, I guess, or the metal bit. She's just kind of hold it like the blade is like that towards him, to kind of use it to kind of block any attacks.
You
know what I mean?
Out the window.
So you're trying.
I mean, that's the kind of idea, is that she's gonna kind of corral him and get
Are
him
you still
in
trying to
between
hurt
me
him?
and the window.
Are you trying to hurt him, or are you playing really defensive? Are you actually making a defense roll, or?
I guess it's more of a defense roll, yeah. She's not outwardly attacking him just yet.
Okay, that's good to know. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
And he, seeing you playing defensively, is actually going to try and close in proper with you and get past that axe and just stick you. He knows that if you haven't got the room to swing, you're not going to be a problem. He's going to try and stab you up. Sound good? 5. What did you get this time? 4. So he gets one up on you. Bonus points to you. Your spacesuit qualifies as having 1 armor. And because
I do have 1 armor level.
Yeah, because we're using the hardcore rules for ranged weapons and armor specifically, that will automatically negate the damage that you would normally take from that potential injury.
Yay!
Similar
Handy.
to his situation, has stopped a few of your shots as well and stuff like that. So he pretty much tries to shoulder barge into you and start stabbing from below while keeping his other arm up to try and block anything coming his way. You manage to basically use your pickaxe as more of a shove to kind of keep him far enough away that he can't actually close that distance. So he starts trying to swing up and hit your arms instead, and it doesn't work out in his favour. So
Sweet.
He manages to get your arm, but the undersuit is just thick enough that it just it's cut, but it's not perforated in any meaningful way.
Okay.
So that's fun. So that's your roll and his sorted. Dom is going to come around right as you set off.
Who?
Dom, sorry. The other bad guy to Mac, the guy who's coming towards you, is quicker than you and gets around the corner right as you slam down and try to intimidate him. So, he's going to roll his shots at a fairly close range because he's quicker than you. He's seen what you're planning to do.
Cool.
7.
Should I just move the thing into this? Just move one of the little arms to just hit him with whatever it is.
I will say he can hit you, but you slightly afterwards is still you are still able to try and get that arm to move. It can turn on long enough that you can get it to do that.
Cool.
Fair?
That's all I want. Yep. I'm fully expecting to be shot here, so.
Yeah, I mean, you should be fully expecting to be shot because that's exactly what he's doing. He's rolling against a range of about 2, and you are stationary because you are hitting the controls at this point. So you are a stationary target. That means he only has to beat a challenge rating of 2. He has achieved that quite exponentially with a 5. So you will take 3, because the 2 are automatically deducted from it. You take 3. One of those gets negated by the fact that you have your spacesuit on underneath still. So that's reduced down to 2, and he's going to give you a level 2 injury. Now what he's going to do with that is he's just going to inflict that injury. Yeah.
He's going to straight up shoot.
He's going to straight up shoot. And so it's like the burst fire happens, and you're kind of like side onto him as he comes around the corner of this mech to see you like on its back, basically pulling apart various cables and basically hot wiring this mech. Which is what you will successfully pull off. You kind of look up just as you're getting ready to swing it, push the buttons appropriate, and like use your console to like manipulate it to do what you need to do. Just as you are about to hit that button, you feel that rapid fire like 3 shots burst, and like 2 of them hit the side of your chest in the bits where there is armor, but unfortunately there's like a seam of about like that big where there isn't any armor, and it just gets straight, and you feel something hit a rib. Like something cracks. And it kind of knocks you off to the side. Now is your turn to roll for the mech.
Cool.
I will say, I'm going to have you do a few things here. I'm going to have you do your mech tech roll, because you are essentially hot wiring this, and this will have been what you were doing from the round prior, I guess, technically, or whatever. However, we're ruler cooling this, so it doesn't matter. So roll that, and then what you get. And then
I'll be down a dice on this roll though, because I do have an injury already.
Yes, I believe that will apply to all rolls, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, hang on, no. Medium injury to all physical-based dice checks. This is not physical. It is not a physical problem. You are not like.
You're not trying to like lift up the mech.
You're trying to lift it.
Oh, okay.
So that's fun. That's good to know. That doesn't affect every roll. It's just pretty much combat and physical stuff for the most part, which is good because you're not doing anything yourself. So, this mech tech roll has no negatives to it. 3, yeah?
Yep.
3 is just enough. 3 is the standard baseline for like most mechs to be hot-wired using a certain number of things that you know to use.
Okay.
Now,
like backdoors
you
and stuff.
get the fun of, essentially, because the mechs are so much bigger, I'm basically saying their combat rolls are doubled.
I am trying to backhand this guy with this, so...
So it'll be base. So base is 6.
Okay.
Your 2 attributes are doubled as well for the purposes of this roll.
Okay, so base 6, 4 attributes.
So you're at 10 dice now.
Yep.
And you're not proficient with the actual equipment itself. Like you're not proficient with the mech in the same way that Bo might be. Like this particular tool that it has.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say roll.
Just roll 10?
Roll that 10.
Okay.
Amazing.
And he will be trying to block this with his 5 in this scenario.
Okay.
Is that 5?
That's a 5. 5 successes.
He just about manages to get out of the way just in time. He's like so focused on you, and he hears this mech like whir up, and his arm just swings down, and he pretty much like falls backwards and like rolls backwards. Like he's quick enough that he manages to pull that off. So it's this moment where he's like, whoa, and he just about recovers like his composure in that moment. But I reckon you have at least another round before this whole thing overheats.
Okay.
Wonderful. Bo, you arrive just in time to see that mech whir into life and slam into the ground of this other guy. You hear something drop in one of the rooms upstairs, and like a sound of 2 people struggling. Rachel couldn't get a good shot off, so she didn't do anything with that turn. But she was mostly just trying to make sure the kids are like downstairs. You hear a lot actually while you were busy fighting him. You hear a lot of this like, get down the stairs. But Mom, I want to get down the damn stairs.
You can't watch.
You can't watch your man die today. Yeah.
On top of Mac just swearing.
Yeah. So
both anger,
as you're running
pain,
along, you feel this thud in the ground as you're getting closer to the house, and you look up to your left to see this mech whir to life, and like it does take out a few of the crops, unfortunately, It's only the tobacco, don't worry.
It's fine by me.
I'm helping.
And you are within range that I will say you can pretty much get to just about anywhere in the house if you want.
Then I'll head upstairs.
Yeah. You charge up the stairs to see Rachel pretty much like on the stairs, like 2 or 3 stairs down from that main room, trying to get a good shot on the person that that our dear friend is currently in a battle of strength with. Yeah. It's up to you what you do.
Kick him out the window.
Just what I was thinking. It's you used to. Did you ever watch the wrestling as a kid?
No, I'm afraid not.
Then can I just spear him as best as I can and just aim to go
Just
out the window
tackle
with
him.
So you're basically just trying to rugby tackle this guy straight out the window.
Pretty much.
I was expecting a drop kick.
Yeah,
No.
that would have worked too.
Don't fuck with a man's family in a man's home. You get thrown.
Yeah, that's why you drop kick him out.
Trying to find the thing that makes the most sense to this. I guess it's a charge, isn't it? That is a
It's
function.
a charge. That's a charge. He's charging. Bo's charging.
Bo's charging. I feel like he's charging in this scenario. So he's not going to be able to do anything because he was busy dealing with the other problem. He wouldn't have seen you really coming. So
Yeah, I feel like I've fully got his attention, so the guy does not know he's about to get mowed down.
Bulldoze. Just-
Yeah.
I also figure Bo is one of those people who he played some sort of sport as a kid, / was probably into cow tipping, so he can probably be hit pretty hard when he needs to.
yeah, I believe that.
Yes.
God, 1d6.
Yeah.
I will argue there is enough space because you can basically just barrel up the stairs. So I'm going to say you're going to absolutely hoof it up those stairs, yeah? And you are basically going to charge. And right as she hears you coming, she kind of looks over her shoulder. So Dottie kind of ducks just out of the way and stands back. And he kind of, you watch as this merc guy tries to stab right at her. And then, unfortunately, his attention is singularly on her. That he turns and
Unfortunately
looks.
for him.
And you are going to roll all of the dice you would normally roll for a melee attack. So that's your 3 plus your 2 minus your 1 with your... Well, ignore the -1 on this occasion because you're charging. And that gives you a +1. Yeah, so just roll those dice.
So I don't get to include anything in here like my strength or my grapple or anything?
I won't say your grapple. Your strength is automatically included as part of your attributes, which is one of your base sort of things. So it's like the 3,
Fair.
your strength, your reflex, or whatever it is you've got, and then your charge.
6. Okay.
His role from earlier still applies in this scenario, and he can technically engage more than one person. So he might still be able to block this.
3.
3. Okay. So you barrel into the room, and unfortunately his role is still an offensive one, and so is yours. He can injure you during this scenario, because melee rolls are attack and defense, and so are technically ranged attacks, but that's a whole other ball game. He is going to injure you, 1, because your armor, he's got a 5, you've got a 3, he's 2 up on you. The armor minus is 1, so he's only given the minor injury of level 1, but he's going to absolutely enter into that close range with you. So you barrel into this room, and you basically grab him right round the waist and start pushing him towards the window. And right as you do so, he just starts slamming this knife down on your back, and unfortunately stands his ground just enough that he's not immediately thrown out the window. But
I guess the level 1 injury makes sense in that game because he won't be able to pierce your armor, but you're still getting punched really hard in the back.
Yeah.
You're getting winded at the very least.
Because you're kind of forcing yourself into his space, and he's forcing himself into yours. He's going to turn it back on you, and is basically using your own closing that space to turn it back and start hitting you. So you feel the tip, at best, the tip of the knife kind of hits your skin, but you don't actually. He doesn't break through anything meaningful at this point. So you're now 2 minus 2.
Mm-hmm.
They still remain as two separate injuries. The dice add up, but the actual injury doesn't. So you're not any closer to being perilously bleeding out or anything, but you are getting closer to being too tired to carry on fighting. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Right. The drone is completely out of this situation. You get to declare first this particular round. So what are you going to do now that you can feel you haven't got him out that window?
How big is he?
He's a little bit heftier than you, and a lot of his gear makes him harder to lift than you'd perhaps like. He's got a lot of ammo pouches and stuff, all kind of adding a bit of weight.
But then, if I can, I would like to, I guess, just pull him to the ground. I just want to kind of incapacitate him as much as I can without killing him, if that makes sense.
That's fine. You're just trying to knock him over, basically. You're trying to trip him. So you're just going to have to do a combat roll and hope you beat him, basically. Because tripping is a level 3 injury thing. I will allow you to try and grapple if that's what you want, but you won't be able to trip him as a part of it.
I'd much rather just try to throw him to the ground.
Yeah. Okay, so you just want to carry on and brute force this, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fine. Mac, what are you going to try and do? You've still got this mech for this round at least. This arm is the only thing that you're really using to function right now. So that's the only reason it's turned on for longer than like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just gonna... Is the guy still in, like, range? Can I just slam the
he's
thing down
rolled
on him?
out of the way. He's rolled out of the way.
Is he still on the ground?
He's not. He's on his knees now and he's getting ready to kind of consider his next move. He looks like he's about to start maneuvering, but you're not sure what yet because he's quicker than you. He's kind of like preempting you and is looking at you, waiting for you to see what you're going to do. There's like this momentary second where you lock eyes and it's like, go on, make your move.
I've only really got one chance. I need to see if I can fake him. So, like, fake it, make it go left, and then swing to the right, and hope he falls for it.
So you're hoping you're still going to hit him, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and juke him, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to try and juke him. Okay, that's flavor more than mechanical, so that's fine. We'll come back to that. So you're using that to kind of brutalize him. He's going to try and take a shot at you while moving to the right. And he's just going to keep moving and try and kind of get round and get a better lock on you. So he's not moving out of the way. He's hoping he can drop you before you drop him.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Lovely. Dottie, what are you going to do? You've just seen Bo charge into the room. You stepped out of the way long enough to see him kind of start this like rugby tackle and grapple situation. And you've seen that this knife has been slamming down on the back of Bo's spacesuit.
So the guy's kind of like over Bo, stabbing him.
Downwards, yeah.
I'm gonna pickaxe to his back.
Pickaxe to his back or pickaxe to his head?
So he
well,
can
the
still
back
see
is
you.
a bigger target.
Sorry, his back is to the window. Bo is between you and him.
Oh, to his face then.
So he's looking in your direction and stabbing down.
Because he's stabbing down at Bo. Bo is at my waist height, so I can just kind of like baseball swing this pickaxe into the guy's head.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Yeah, basically. It's like I was trying not to make a mess, but it's
over now.
You know, Bo's potentially going to die, so I need to actually like lethalize this
Rachel
somewhat.
is gonna try and get a shot off, but her priority for the most part is the kids. She might not even bother to come to your help at this point.
She's now got
really Bo that's like the thing she's worried about.
She's got 2 bodies in the way of her target, so
yeah, it's she's probably not going to land anything. And then he is like focused for the moment. He's like, because he's faster, we're going to start with his turn now and go back the other way and do the actions as appropriate. He is like slamming down and he looks up and is going to try and basically finish Bo as quickly as he can before trying to like engage you separately. And he can engage more than one person. You all can technically. I think you can engage a number of people equal to half what your combat roll is.
Makes sense.
yeah.
So he is not injured. Oh, he's only got 1 injury, right?
He's got an injury level, yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's technically only rolling a few. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes. He is going to continue to engage this situation with 4 successes. So, Dottie, roll your combat roll.
6.
6.
Thinking
Oh,
I'm gonna
7.
need another shower.
This pickaxe is going right here into it. This guy might be dead.
I hope so.
I'm trying to crush a dude with a mech arm, so.
You're gonna redecorate your kid's bedroom at some point, right, Nevo?
He's down.
Very Jackson Pollock inspired.
He's now had 2 minor injuries inflicted to him, so he's now down to just 4 dice.
So the pickaxe didn't kill him.
It didn't kill him. He pretty much You swing
Wishes
for him
he was dead.
as he's trying to finish off Bo, and
Mm-hmm.
this whole situation unfolds where the axe kind of clobbers him, but it hits like his shoulder, and there's a pad there, but you can hear something crack, and you're not sure what it is.
Is the pickaxe now stuck in him?
No, it bounces off.
Okay.
The padding is just thick enough. It's like a kind of like knee pad situation, that kind of thickness. It's not
Like
enough
Kevlar.
It's Kevlar, I guess. Right. So Dom,
The other guy.
the other guy who hasn't taken an injury yet, and still has his full 9 dice to roll.
Oh my god.
6, 7, 8,
Why didn't we all chose a really like not combat effective characters? Like it's really apparent when you're up against like actual
Combat
works.
effective.
4. Now, because of the way ranged weapons work, and the fact he's still at range to you, there's no penalties to that. 4 blocks, you are still stationary because you are attached to this, like, the back of this mech. You're not going anywhere, which is unfortunate for you, because you otherwise that would be. So, 2 are blocked by the basic range adjustment of, like, the challenge ring being 2. 1 is blocked by the armor. You take another minor injury of 1.
God.
How many is that now?
2 level 1 injuries and a level 2.
So you're up to how many minuses on dice now?
Minus 4 dice to physical rolls.
Okay.
And
I
2
believe
to other
Once
rolls.
you get to 5, you will be unconscious.
Okay.
Because that's
I'm not that far off. Yep.
Yeah. All of your base rolls are basically like your hit points in this sense.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Cool.
good to know.
Cool.
But you're still conscious, and here's the good part. Roll that 10 dice.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, you've got to beat. Was it 4?
4. You've got to beat 4.
It's good odds, she says.
I mean, if you roll below 3 on 10 dice, I would
5. Can I just pin him under this thing? I just want him stuck there.
Yep. Okay, so he takes the shots, and he does, unfortunately, technically not take an injury. But I
Is
will
he
say,
stuck?
if your intent was to try and pin him more than anything, I will
Yeah, because you can have like the hand like that or something.
rule a call to say that it works in your favor just this once, because you're trying out something that isn't necessarily the most optimal approach. Sound fair?
Yeah. Yeah, I
He
just
is
want him
stuck
pinned to the ground.
for this
Yeah.
next round. I will.
You stuck
I'll
for a
allow
round.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the mech
That's
is overheating.
Yeah, and the mech is basically... There we go. The mech freezing because of the overheating is the reason he is stuck to the ground. Sound
Because he
fair?
can't like move it to.
Because it's
Okay.
not moving, it's not actively pulling away or anything, it's stuck there because of the overheating. So,
Nice.
that's your turn. Bo, buddy. What are you going to do? Oh, you already know what you're going to do. You said you wanted to try and trip him, which is just a combat roll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine. Roll your dice. I believe you were beating 4, was it?
Yeah.
Yep. 1.
No.
He inflicts 4, 3, 1's blocked by the thing. You take another 2 injury.
Oh no.
Join the club!
How many are we up to now?
4 times Alex.
So that's minus 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Good. Right. Bo, what are you going to do?
I think I've hit that point where I've given up on fighting. It's just kind of gone feral, so I'm going to try to break his other arm.
Okay. So you're just trying to injure him still. So that's just another flat combat roll, yeah? But don't forget that there are a lot of minus penalties to this at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. We'll come back to you then when we get round to you. Mac, what are you going to do? The mech's overheated. You still have your pistol if you want to use it.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna try and shoot the guy in the head.
Sounds fun to me. So it's a handgun, yeah?
Yep.
So it's your base 3. I'm not really sure whether physical includes ranged weapons, like whether or not that will have negative traits. I imagine it would, right? You're still trying to fire a gun while injured.
Yeah, trying to fire a gun. I feel like Mac is honestly just kind of more laying
Yeah,
on the mech at this point, and it's just
That's
like...
fine. So it's 1 dice, is it, at this point for you, as your base? Because you're minus 4, right?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
minus
So you
4.
get your 1 dice, but you do get the +2 of a ranged weapon, so it's 3 dice.
And then I also have a dot in my handgun.
So you're proficient in it, so it's 4 dice.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Yay!
That might be essential. That might be the difference here. Lovely. Good to know. He is going to see you trying to take a shot at him, and he is going to start trying to lift it up and get it off so he can get out of the way of those shots, because he's not keen on sticking around for that.
Yep, I got a 3, so
He's trying to get out of
3
the way.
successes.
He's trying to get it up and out of the way and be a moving target, basically. So we'll come back and see what that means for him.
Which half a mech on him?
You're very close range. I mean, you're basically adjacent right at this point. So. Are you like going to walk to pretty much point blank range to try and take the shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just slide down the arm. Just
Yeah, love it. Dottie, what are you going to do?
He dropped his gun, right?
Yeah, absolutely, he did.
Can I point blank pick it up and just?
You will be close, and I will say that he is fairly stationary because him and
Bo are on the floor, like rolling around, aren't
no,
they?
they're not rolling around.
Okay.
He's basically actually got the knife in Bo at this point.
I'm trying to work out like whether I'd.
No, I think it's a good idea. You can do it.
Because I don't know, I don't have any proficiencies or anything in it. So I'd be rolling 3 plus both my attributes, 5, and then
we'll come back.
anything.
We'll come back to that because it's.
Well, I don't want to say that I'm going to use the gun if the pickaxe has a better chance of succeeding. Do you know what I mean? Is that metagaming?
Yeah.
I don't know.
A little bit, yeah. It's a shoulder-stocked ballistic weapon, so it's a plus 4d6 to hit. So that more than balances out the loss you'd make from not using a weapon you're proficient with. And you're not injured yet, are you?
I'm still injured from the before. I have a collar injury.
Like
It's
a
minus
-1.
one.
Yeah? So you still have 4 base dice,
Yeah.
and then you'd have another 4 from the.
Also, I get like an extra dice.
You'd have
Oh, it's
an
worth it.
extra, so
Yeah.
It's worth a shot.
Okay. I'll pick up his gun and try and shoot him.
Yeah. You're like at the 5-meter range, so you're in
Yeah.
a close. Adjacent would involve getting into his like.
I'm like
adjacent in this game is technically you would have to injure him first to get adjacent to him.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I injured him last round though. Does that not count?
You didn't inflict an injury. Like there's inflicting an injury and then there's moving into close combat. They're 2
Oh, I see. Okay.
So don't worry.
That's
getting
fine.
used to combat. This is like
I'm
the first
like-
proper combat.
Yeah.
combat, isn't
I'm
it?
like close enough to like be able to see him and shoot him, but not too close that I'm not going to get like tripped up by like a flailing limb or
So
something.
he's seeing you pick up his gun, and he's kind of stuck in this scenario where him and Bo are like grappling at each other, and he's stabbing, and he's going to pull the knife out, and he's just going to chuck it straight at you. So, he's going to make a roll against you. He is proficient with this knife, so he is still injured though, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So he's down to 4 plus, because he's using it as a range thing, isn't he?
He's throwing
With
it,
his
yeah.
crossbows. I'd say he gets the 2d6 as a base sort of low caliber thrown weapon, I guess. So it's 4 plus 2, so he's rolling a 6.
I just realised I'm very much playing this game like a barbarian more than I should be.
You're like the skinny farmer. It's like,
I keep forgetting that they're not like these rolls aren't versus each other because he's taking a shot at you versus the base number of the range table, and you're doing the same to him. So he's got a 3 versus the 2 of this range, and it's like the fact he's stationary and you are stationary because you're not running at him or anything. He only gets a 1 victory level on you, but that is cancelled out immediately by the fact that you are wearing armor. So he basically throws this knife, and it just bounces off of the chest plate of your like Under Armour and kind of falls to the floor, and he's like just starts trying to basically just grab and like throw Bo, like he's trying to like hoof him over and just throw him out the window.
Thanks for giving me another weapon.
Become a bale of hay.
Yeah.
So he's gonna try and do that to Bo when it applies.
Do we want to try and like to the crew? Do we want to try and keep any of these alive to like talk to them, or not? Are we just outwardly killing them? Okay, Mac. Okay. That's a very like
Mac isn't gonna spare the one
certain
that
answer.
No, I'm trying to execute him right now, so.
Yeah.
If this guy gets injured to the point that he can still talk, I'm not going to complain. But if he dies, I'm also not going to complain.
That sounds good.
Cool.
I feel like Mac, well,
Right.
Mac recognizes them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know who they are.
Okay,
you know that
yeah,
they are part
okay.
of a situation that's probably not
Yep.
going to go well for you. I would argue you've probably run into these guys before, very briefly, but managed
Yeah.
to make your escape on your own. But you know that Harrison is coming after you. This isn't a surprise.
Yeah.
He's kind of been on your tail for ages.
Yeah.
Right. So that was his turn. Dottie, you are up. Roll your 8.
What am I beating or trying to beat?
2.
5.
So you get 2 injuries on him. He's already got 2, so he is down to 4 now.
I shoot him in the chest.
Yeah. So as he's trying to get ready to hoof it, he's kind of puffed up his chest and is getting ready for his next turn, which is when he's going to try and throw. Because unfortunately a ranged attack is basically you can only affect one target. And he goes to hoof it, and right as he kind of gets ready, he looks up, realizes this isn't going very well for him, because he's not able to really maneuver out of the way, and just gets hit square in the chest by these 3 shots.
After throwing his knife at me and it just bouncing off me.
He's like, shit, fuck, damn it!
I'm like the Terminator right now.
You see like this long crack kind of form where you can see that this burst fire has done quite a lot of damage and got through quite effectively.
He's weak.
Yeah, he's weaker. He's at the same number of base dice as Bo now. The only reason he's not going to lose out in a combat roll versus Bo is probably the fact he's proficient in a lot of these fighting things where Bo isn't.
Yeah, I'm just scrappy.
Yeah, you're just scrappy. He's trained. That's the difference. Right. Dom is going to do his best to get.
I love that like the guy attacking Bo hasn't been named, but Dom is like, we know
Dom's
he's
a
called
lad.
Dom.
He's a lad. This isn't a ranged thing, so he's only going to get his base dice really in this one. Yeah, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it's grip, it's grapple, it's like strength, isn't it? So you can probably get the extra 1 from the being trained in that skill. So it's 6. Let's see if he can get this up. It's quite a heavy piece of machinery.
That is locked in place because it's overheated.
Locked in place because it's overheated. He has a 2. He has not managed to get that up, and you can see he's struggling. Because suddenly he's like, shit. Because he's realizing this person who's got a handgun is slowly getting closer, and he's not able to really maneuver out of the way. His next
Sliding
move,
down his arm.
his next move is going to be to try and reach the gun he's dropped and shoot you, but you're going to get your shot in first. If you miss and you don't finish him on this turn, he's going to get a shot on you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right.
Fine, no stakes.
Yep. Mac. Roll your dice.
I get the 4, so I get the big. Wait.
1.
You got the
Base?
1.
I was
is your
rolling.
base
I
roll.
was rolling 2.
Base 3, and then to the 2
No.
attributes,
You are
minus 4,
yeah. So you're
Yeah, so
only
I have-
getting 1 from your base dice, right? Because otherwise you'll be on.
and then I
contest.
get.
You rolled a 3
Yes.
before. Are you keeping
Yes.
that roll or are you rolling again?
I'll let
That
you
was
roll
from
again,
last
'cause
time.
That was
For the last one.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
shooting again. And then
Oh,
I get
yeah.
1 for the handgun, and then 2 for the. Like, the 1 for the
Proficiency.
proficiency with the handgun, and then 2 for the handgun itself.
Yeah, so that's
So
4
I have
dice.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll those 4 dice.
Oh my god.
2.
2.
You hit the 2. Unfortunately, that 2 means that you just about hit him, but it wouldn't make a difference. You are like swaying, so the shots you do take, rapid fire, bang, bang. All one hits the dirt next to his chest, the other one hits his armor, and he is not taken out of the equation.
Cool. Can I slide off the side? Just opposite so that there's a mech arm in the way?
Yeah, you want to use cover, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll let you.
Just
I'll say you're
sliding
not in
off.
like melee or anything, so there's no like complication. You can slide over and try and like keep the mech arm between you and him. Love it.
Yeah.
I love that. That's really cool.
And you're like,
so,
bang, shit.
you're scrappy. You are just trying. You like take the shots and then you're like, nope.
Yep.
Boom. Bo, you scrappy son of a gun. It is you and him.
Equal dice.
I'm gonna say you're on equal dice, both of you. And I know that you're meant to use the combat roll for the whole thing, but I'm gonna do it this way, just this once, because it's more
Okay.
intense.
Destiny.
You both have 1
Right.
dice, right?
Okay.
You roll, tell me what you get, I'll roll, I'll tell you what I get. And then we'll see if someone has an obvious success where someone else doesn't. Great.
No pressure.
2.
1.
You got a success.
No, I just got the 1.
Okay, so
Yeah.
neither of you actually have an impact on each other at this point.
Okay.
Sound fair?
Just pushing at each other at this point.
Both. Both of you are basically like injured, bleeding, trying to hit each other and get each other down, and he's trying to get you out of the way so he can deal with her, and she's just out of range of actually being a target he can deal with practically at this point. So
You are doing exactly what you need to do. You're in the way.
Yeah, you are just in the way and preventing him from being able to engage more than one person. Bo, what's your plan?
What's around me?
The window,
Like
there's a bedside table to your left, which is next to the bed, which is on the wall. You've got the cupboard full of clothes and stuff to your right, full of your kids' clothes, and there's a drawing next to it of you and the family on the farm.
Question though, which kid's bedroom is he in?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say you are in Morgan's room, who is the smart kid. So this whole room's very tidy. Takes after your wife.
There's definitely a lamp on that bedside table.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that kind of makes the difference if there's a lamp on the bedside table or if there's like a knife in
Yeah.
on the bedside table.
If it was the prankster kid's room, there'd be a knife in that table.
Or at
Yeah.
least like a cherry bomb or something. Like a fake
Then if I
poo.
can just grab the lamp and hit him with it.
Yep, I'm gonna say that qualifies as like maybe
Gonna lamp
a
him.
medium weapon. So you
Lamp
get
him.
you get an extra d6 on your situation when you roll. We'll come back to that then. Yeah, you're gonna grab the lamp and just try and fucking wail on him, right? That works for me. Mac,
Yeah.
are you gonna stay in cover or are you gonna try and take your shot? Like, what are you gonna do? You know he's about to reach for his gun. Last you saw of it. It's probably still gonna be what he's gonna do. Poking your head out might end badly for you.
Yeah.
Unless you can kick his gun away. But I suppose he's gonna go before
He's
you.
on the
isn't
other
he?
side. He's on the other side
He's
of the
still
mech
quicker than
from
Okay.
me.
He's still quicker than Mac.
But as far as I know, he's stuck. So I am going to try and I'm not going to poke up over the top of the arm.
Yeah.
I want to kind of come around towards the end of it, kind of more towards where he's stuck, and
Yeah.
see if I can see his gun. I don't want to poke fully around. I want to see if I can see his gun.
Okay. And you're basically
And-
staying in cover. I'd say this is like 90%. If you're like squat and like poking around the corner and trying to cover as much as your body as you can, then I'm going to say
Yeah.
it's probably closer to 90% cover, which will give you protection.
Yeah,
You wanna
just
get
gonna
a
look around and see if I can
what
see his
he's gonna
gun.
do. Okay, that works.
Yeah, if I can
He-
see his gun, I don't. That's yeah. Yeah.
He's going to grab for his gun. That's his turn. He will grab for that, and it will occur in whatever order it occurs in. Okay, that works.
Cool.
Dottie, what is your plan?
Bo's gonna hit him with the lamp.
Hit him.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Just hit him.
drop the gun, pick up the knife, and stab the guy.
Okay, that works.
Because I feel like the pickaxe is too unwieldy, whereas the knife I can get up close and like not,
Stab him in the face.
and not also almost hit Bo. You know.
He has a pistol on his hip that
Of course he does.
thinking about, and then realizes he's not going to get a good enough shot off on you before Bo interrupts him, and he's not going to be able to finish Bo without you getting him. So his action is to try and make sure Bo goes down first.
Bo go down.
Get out the window so that he's out of the way of you. That's his plan. Whether or not it... Hello. Whether or not that works is another matter. Right.
Ghost.
So he's going to roll, but he's only got the base 1. So he has no successes this round. So even though he's technically trained, actually, I should probably include that. Yeah, that's still a fucking...
Don't have to.
That's fine. Shut up. He's not able to get anything off in that time. He's trying to kind of make sure Bo's not going to get him, and he can't get to his gun. It's a whole bad time for him at this point. Bo has done a very good job of getting in the way.
Meat shield.
Dottie, it is your turn.
Okay, I've got a knife, so I'm not proficient.
A
in
knife!
this. A knife!
proficient in it, but you aren't injured too much, so you'll still get.
I've only got 1 injury, so I've got 3 base 5, and then -1. Is there anything like? Does the knife add anything?
It's a small weapon, so no.
Okay, so I roll 4.
Yeah.
That was a bad choice, wasn't it? 2.
2.
Mm.
His armor blocks 1. You do get a minor injury on him. It does pretty much knock him out. You swing at him and you hit him hard enough in the chest that he kind of.
He's probably blood loss at this point. He's got a broken shoulder, shattered shoulder.
Yeah.
He's been shot in the chest, and now he's been stabbed in the chest.
None of the injuries are bad enough that they're immediately life-threatening, but they've all kind of compounded to the fact that he's now basically in like a form of shock, I guess. He falls unconscious and sort of falls limp, leaning on top of Bo.
Bo just keeps going into the wall.
Our boy
Hits him with the lamp anyway.
Dom, our boy Dom, a lad, grabs his gun, manages to grab it. It's not that far out of reach. Turns to look at you and realizes you're not there because you're behind cover, and he's like, "This is gonna take a while, isn't it? Either you get out from behind the cover and I can finally fucking shoot you, or we spend the next 3 weeks waiting for this to happen." That's what he's gonna say. It's your go. As you're looking around, you can see he's got the gun now.
So he's aiming at where I was on top, right?
He's aiming generally in the vicinity of the arm he saw you slide behind, and as you kind of.
Well, because I was. So he's under the arm. I was sliding down it, and then I just went boop.
Yeah.
So
But
he's
he
kind of
Where
looking
you
up
are.
here.
He's looking pretty much there. Yeah.
I was moving around to see where his gun was,
Yeah.
so I'm now over here.
Yeah.
Can I shoot him from cover?
You didn't call that you were gonna shoot him.
Yeah.
I'm going to argue on this occasion, you get a sense. What you do with your turn is you know he has a gun.
Yeah.
That's the benefit you have. You poke your head around the corner long enough at an angle that he didn't see to know he has a gun. Because
Yeah,
otherwise
I'm gonna
it's 90% cover.
Try.
Bo.
Am I still lamping him? Since he's
You
unconscious?
can still lamp him if you want, but he has fallen unconscious. You can feel his weight suddenly bear down on top of you, and you're barely strong enough to keep yourself upright at this point.
And I'm just gonna fall down, I'm just gonna kind of hit the deck with him, I think.
Yeah, that's
And
fine.
Tell Rachel to get
Roll
some
to
rope,
see if you're injured.
and tell the kids to go and get my helmet.
Lovely. So with your turn, you're going to tell the kids to get some rope, right?
And my helmet.
And the helmet. That works. Good. They will probably listen to you. Rachel's quite close. Matt, what are you going to do on this? What are you going to do on this turn?
So the mech is fully overheated. There's no chance of me turning the arm back on and just grinding the guy down?
No, I'm afraid not.
I mean, if he's stuck still, so as long as you can stay out of the way long enough for me and Bo to come and help.
Mech might just lie there, try not to die.
Okay. That works. On his turn, he's going to do whatever he's going to do.
Yeah, Mac will see if she can vent or kind of overrule the overheat.
Yeah. Okay.
Try something to get the arm moving
It's
again.
not impossible, but I will say it's going to be a lot harder because you basically subverted what's actually. You've already subverted something that shouldn't have been subverted and overheated it as a result in a way that's more damaging than what the normal overheating would have been. You prevented it from shutting down, essentially.
Yeah.
And then obviously it did shut down eventually because that's how machines work.
We're gonna
I
have
just
buy
want her to
Bo
try
anyway.
and
So you're going to try
Yeah.
and do that.
I want to try and get that arm moving again.
And he's going to use his turn trying to probably get out, you imagine.
Yeah.
Dottie, what are you going to do on your turn this time? He's unconscious. He's not a problem.
I'm gonna pick up his gun and go out onto the onto the roof of the porch and see what Mac's doing.
Okay, so
Because I don't know
You
what
are-
Mac's doing right now. I've heard the mech stuff going on outside,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna go out onto the porch and onto the roof of the porch
you can
and
see
see
from
what's
the
going
roof
on.
of the porch, the little overhang, just about from where you are. There's this patch of dirt where this mech has cleared most of the crops and the plants. And you can see there's this guy stuck underneath this arm that he's somehow not been grated by. Because he's not under like the blade itself. He's like under the joint, the arm that would have like normally not been injured by. Because he was trying to get underneath it to get to you.
Yeah.
Mac. And you can see that Mac has sort of poked the head around and is trying to head back around the back towards the back of the mech to try and do something by the looks of it. You can see Mac kind of
Hobbling.
Blood
stain all across the mech.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood.
I guess I will kind of go prone on the roof and have the gun pointing at the guy and just kind of backing Mac up.
Okay. So you're going to take a shot?
Sure.
Okay. So you're first. You roll your 8 dice, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. Because you haven't taken another injury since the last
No.
one. So you're rolling 8. He's quite far away. And he's a stationary target, so he's not really in cover, I guess. Yeah, we'll see. You're rolling against a 4.
I got 5.
Okay. Unfortunately, with the body armor, that 1 that you would have got cancels out. But you can see that he's now acknowledging the fact that you've shot him.
And because I'm prone, I'm lying, so it's just like my head and the gun over the side. So I'm quite a difficult target.
You'll have a good bit of cover on that, and he's in an awkward angle.
Plus
himself.
high ground.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got high ground.
Wow.
Should I got a high ground advantage then?
If you want, you can add the 2 extra dice. Roll those 2 extra dice now. And treat them as new extra dice, and if they...
No, I got 2 fails.
2 fails. Okay, so it's as it was. That's fine.
Yep.
Good to remember though, folks.
And my being prone gives them minus 4d6.
Yeah.
By the way,
that matters if they're
if he tries to shoot me.
shooting you, whatever.
I don't know if he can see you because he's
I think
pinned on his
prone's
back,
more of a
I
problem.
imagine.
That will affect. Yeah, that will affect it. Cool. So that's your turn. He is not going to try and take a shot at you because he thinks you're a shit shot.
Rude.
And he realizes you are a harder target.
Far
to hit.
away.
Yeah. He is simply going to try and get out from underneath the mech again. He's still not injured, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He needed at least 5. At least 4, really, I guess. And he's only got a 3. So, he's still stuck under there. It's like, he's stuck, and he can't really get a shot on the 2 people he wants to shoot right now. So, he's kind of... Buggered. Mac.
I just want to get the arm spinning. I don't want it to lift up at all. I want it spinning.
Right. Okay, fine. So, I'm going to have you do another roll here. That same one that you did before, the mech tech one. There's no negatives to that. It's fine, because it's not a physical roll. The challenge rating for this is going to be a little bit higher than it was last time. So, roll well.
Destiny roll.
So, what does a destiny roll do exactly?
That's a good question.
And also, how do we get
A
destiny
destiny
points?
point represents the character's influence and fates, blah blah blah. It's a reward system, so it's a lot like Advantage, actually. I can give it to you, basically, by the looks of it. Which is something we haven't been doing before, but I can do that. So, you've got 3 to start with anyway, so you can use one if you want.
Yep, I'm going to use it.
Spend a destiny point before any d6 based roll, usually a particularly important one if they're using the points wisely, which will give them a special destiny advantage on the roll. Instead of the usual 4 to 6 on a d6 being considered a win, each dice that rolls a 3 or higher will be considered a win, meaning 3...
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, and 6. This is increased chance of rolling winning successful dice. Does not guarantee it. Alright. After any roll, if you wanted to do it after the roll, a character may spend destiny points after any d6 roll to add a single win in addition to what they achieved. They may do this multiple times on any roll for as many destiny points as they have.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do it just to make the 3s count. So, doing it before I roll on this one.
I hope you get some 3s.
5 successes.
5
Nice.
successes.
Did that include any 3s?
There's 2 3s.
Nice. Boy.
So there's nothing in the rules. I'm going to rule in your favour on this one. There is nothing in the rules against using more than one destiny point on a single roll. You can add more successes. You still have 2 destiny points.
I'm scared.
It's your choice. You don't get them back without me awarding them, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is something.
Yeah.
That is all I'm going to say.
I'm just scared because you're giving me the option, and I'm like, this is my 5.
He
Did
won't
I
have
do-
rolled yet, if that helps. So he should, or I don't think he's rolled yet.
Well, no,
Well,
he
this
would have.
is a set DC.
Oh, okay.
It's a set DC, so
CR,
I need
challenge rating, whatever they call it in this game.
my challenge rating. So is my 5 going to be enough,
Enough.
or did he set it at a 6 or a 7 or an 8?
If you burn the other 2, that does increase your chance to get it.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. I will burn.
It's
1.
out of 8, isn't it? I think.
You will
So-
burn 1. Okay.
Yes, to give me 6.
To give you 6, yeah?
Yeah, to give me 6 successes.
Okay, cool. That is just enough. just enough. You match it. That is not a strong success.
Oh. Okay,
What
I
I
got it
will
moving.
say is, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to do anything negative to you. But the arm, at least, the physical arm, will be pretty much beyond any sort of minor repairs. It will be into, this is expensive.
It needs to be replaced.
We oboe. You oboe big time after
You will
this.
oboe one whole arm from this is not going to be cheap. Right, okay?
Yep.
You manage it. Roll
Hopefully we
those
can-
10d6.
Steal something off the train or something. I don't know.
You still have
Yeah.
1 destiny point. If you want to spend it to make 3s count, now is a good time.
How many injuries does this guy have?
None.
1?
None. He's
None?
good. Yeah, he's.
Yep, burning it. I beat him dead.
We've got this is like episode 5. We haven't used any destiny points at all, and now you're burning 3 in 1 round. What?
Should you hit a 0 or a 10?
So I rolled 10 dice. I got 9 successes.
Oh!
3 of them are 3s.
This guy is turned into compost, my dude.
He's prone as well, which means even if he... Ah, fuck it. Right, fine.
He is fertilizing the crops.
You manage, with destiny on your side, you realise that where it's lying isn't going to do any damage to him, and you have to push this arm beyond what it's functionally going to be able to put up with at this point. You think, I can owe Bo, at least if I'm alive, I owe him, but if I'm dead, I'm dead. There's nothing to it. If you die,
Yeah.
you're dead. And he will kill you if he gets out from underneath this. You know that. He isn't going to hold a
Yes.
shot. He's not going to
Yeah.
not shoot you. Like,
Yeah.
so you manage to get it to come up, and just as he realizes it's coming up, he is prone, and as far as I know, it takes an action to get up, but wasting his action to get up, he's upright. He's like, I'm not going down while lying down, because that will hurt more, and he's going to try and move, and you just bring this whole thing down on him, and he is pasted. There are chunks of this man everywhere. This whole mech arm is covered in viscera and other horrible things. A chunk lands right on the center of your forehead and like slides down.
I'm on the roof, like above them, so I'm just getting like sprayed.
You basically see
Just
like
this fine
there's this
mist.
line where like this really thick amount of just horrible gore right around this thing, and then there's this line of blood that goes along the wall and up onto the ceiling.
Oh my god. At least it was quick. Oh.
Yeah, there was a guttural scream that I'm not going to do because I'll peek out the mic, but he is gone.
His legs just go boonk.
Yeah, he is beside
Oh
himself,
my
and beside himself, and beside himself, and beside himself.
He's all over the place, man.
Yeah. He's feeling a bit scatterbrained right now.
He's legless.
Yeah.
Shit's really hit the fan.
He is completely armless. Good. Good.
He's pushing up daisies.
The good news is all of the danger is gone.
Oh my god. Not for this guy who's unconscious. My god, the danger's only begun.
For the moment. The guy who's unconscious is bound up and tied in ropes.
Oh, and what are you going to do with the helmet?
You'll maybe find that out next episode, I guess.
Right. Basically, Rachel ties him up and pretty much leans him like against the window, the wall, and is like, we should probably take him somewhere else. I don't want to do anything particularly volatile in our kid's bedroom.
Yeah, fair.
The barn?
Good idea.
Out next to the mech.
So she picks up this unconscious guy and is like, can you give me a hand to Dottie?
I come in covered in viscera.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks at you like...
I'm just like, oh, you could just see the whites of my eyes, so I'm like shocked.
I feel like, Dottie, you're just standing at the window, and you're like...
I'll meet you downstairs.
I'll meet you outside.
She says. She's like, I don't care. So she's dragging this guy down the stairs by his feet, and he just boom, 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 boom. Yeah, pretty much. And then
making sure he remains unconscious.
Drags him out, and then Bo, are you following?
Yeah.
You don't have the strength to actually help at this point. And she's like, kids, get in the living room and shut the curtains.
Don't look outside. Don't do it.
Don't look outside. Don't even think about it. Your child, Morgan, the smarter child of the two, is like, okay, fine. I'm gonna go and find a book to read for the next hour or two. Gonna just go sit down on the sofa and try and not think about this. Spencer, notorious, goes, I'll shut the curtains, don't worry. And you can see as you walk out that they're like looking through a crack in the curtains and just like, oh my god.
Yeah, he like sees a bloodied Dottie like hop down off the roof, just turn around like covered in blood and like other chunks.
You can hear faintly through the window this muffle. Oh my god, he's everywhere.
Like some sort of like cryptid. She's just like dripping.
You can help Rachel carry the guy now, and you take him.
Yeah, I guess.
And she looks at Bo and is like, does this have something to do with whatever trouble you got into the other day? Now you're all in the same room in the barn now.
I mean, I don't think so.
Bo and Mac are like leaning against each other.
Yeah.
Different coats, different colors.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. And I'm going to put my helmet on. And while that's happening, I'm going to patch into audio.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of be like, hey, buddy, give me like 30 seconds. Crank the volume. And then just, I'm giving you this pass to just go nuts and yell whatever you want into the headset. Okay?
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to take it off and put it on his head.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Great. Rodeo momentarily is like,
are you aware of the other men in the hangar messing with Sparks?
No. Do you do something about that for me?
I can look into it.
Thanks.
Permission to kill, sir?
I guess do what you gotta do at this point. It's already too late to say no, so...
If this cavern's anything to go back.
Affirmative.
Can I hear half of like the Bo half of the conversation?
he takes the helmet off and puts it like onto the unconscious guy, and he's like, yeah, you can hear the conversation. Why? What do you want to...
Can I like tell Gravel to just go into lockdown? Just like turtle up and like lock everything off.
Actually, Rodeo, I assume you can hear me still.
Yeah.
In between just cranking the volume, can you turn on your mic? 'Cause I'm just
Rodeo,
mad now.
those guys all over Sparks are from Earth. They're trying to steal our Martian technology.
Right. What are you trying to say? What, do you want him to turn on the mic, as in on his end, so that they can hear you?
No, just so that
you can hear
the
them.
headset can hear them.
So he wants the guy to be able to hear his men getting brutalized by Rodeo.
Yeah?
As loud as possible.
Okay. Wonderful.
Mac has absolutely
you
said
hear
that
some
to
feedback
Rodeo, by the way.
immediately. He does say,
It is worth mentioning, sir, that there are at least 2 other mechs in this room that their friends are operating. Shall I remain in passive mode until you arrive, sir?
Yeah, that's probably better.
Probably for the best, yeah. Still crank the music.
I can still do that, sir.
Thank you.
Any particular track you would prefer, sir?
Give me something loud and heavy.
Wonderful, sir.
you hear what I can best describe from the helmet you put back onto this guy now. The sound that is comparable to like those YouTube poop videos. You know, the ones where they like the audio is just cranked.
Complete like distortion.
It's
like...
just noise, but it's like cranked even higher than it should be possible to achieve. It's just pure distortion, pure noise. Mm-hmm. And you're not sure what it is, but you think it's Country Roads. And the guy jolts awake to the sound of an overly cranked Country Roads. And we're going to leave it there for this evening.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm not sure. I enjoyed most of it.
Someone will.
Yeah, someone will. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. Let us know your favourite bit down in the comments, and we'll see you next week.